Hello and welcome to another episode of the Construction Corner podcast. I'm Dillon, I'm your host, and today it's just going to be me on the mic. I've got a few things that I want to talk about, plus Matt and I have just been super busy here, even at the start of the new year, to nail things down and get a recording time. So this year, we're also going to, keep bringing back some guests. Have a lot of those conversations with guests, and again, keeping relevant with the industry, what's going on in the world, and helping make you guys better in the world of construction and all things. One of the things that really it's just that season for me and time of maybe year somewhat, but really just a season in my life where things are like they're just running, right? Things are operating, they're going, and there's not a lot of things that I have to do personally to, adjust or deal with or, try to figure out, troubleshoot, right? And that's really my core skill set. My core competency is being able to get through really and see bigger problems, but to fix, to put the scaffolding on it, to then let people run the play, run the system, get it all dialed in. And then as there's problems or issues or anything that comes up with, the system that's put in place for, whether that's for design or project management or whatever it might be, that they just need to run it. And until, things break, then I'll go in, fix it, identify the issues, and we'll just fix the problem and move on. So when those things aren't happening, when there's not a lot of projects going on or not a lot of things to fix or deal with, and things are just running smoothly, I have learned to just let it flow, right? To not mess with anything, to just let the play run. And when that happens, I get in a state of boredom, basically, where I just don't have a whole bunch to do, right, or execute on. There's still some things, but not like these massive overhauls, big projects where it's just a huge portion of time. And so when that happens, it's I just take a step back, disengage from what's going on so that I don't screw anything up. And I think more often than not, it's the not screwing things up that we do, right? We want to tinker, we want to mess with, play around with, instead of just being, okay, let's let it run, and then we'll figure out what breaks whenever this thing goes into play. And, the way you can think about that in construction is, especially on the design side, is you get designed to a point, and there's a lot of things that you can always tinker with and play with. But there's a point where you just need to turn in the set of drawings and see if the owner likes it, right? See if it's to their liking. And if it is, then, cool. And if it's not, fine. We can change it from there. But in that kind of in-between time, right, is to, do the things that need to get done and need to move forward in the project. But there's a lot of things that just don't need to be fussed with until you get an answer one way or the other, right? You're kind of in limbo, if you will, no man's land, until that happens. And so understanding when those times are and when you do need to move forward, when you do need to progress and put things down to get reviewed, and then to, make corrections as you move forward. And in life, there's all these just ebbs and flows, right? Seasons in the calendar year, and slower times of the year, faster times, more projects, less projects, more going in the ground, more CA, more travel, less travel, whatever it might be, that you understand that there's seasons to life. And some of the firms that I used to work for, if I had stayed, things probably would have gotten maybe better. There might have been opportunities that opened up, a lot of things, and I just jumped to the next opportunity, right? Some of the things I don't really regret any of my decisions, but in really, being a director as early as I did, moving from the previous firm to that firm, it was going to be another 10 years before a spot opened up to where I could become director of the department, or 6 years. So I don't regret speeding up that timeline and then, moving from there over to another firm. Again, it was a good opportunity, and, I had just life took me different places. But for a lot of people out there, jump into that next opportunity, if they haven't thought it through, or it's not about acquiring maybe a new set of skills or a different type of design work, right? Like the firm that I ended up going to did a lot of healthcare work. So that was a new skill set for me, right? So I picked up a new set of skills in jumping to that other firm. I got paid more, so all that worked out. But there's a lot of things in the firms that you're in that you can make that impact. And in 3-5 years, having stayed the course, moved up, people move out, right? That you're able to really steer the firm in a direction that you want to go. And it's unfortunate in some cases, but 5 years at a place is a fairly long time. And so if you're able to stay the course, to you're not maybe completely happy with the place that you're working, but you're maybe not completely unsatisfied about it either, right? You understand it's a good job, the company does good work, you do good work, and opportunities will open up over time, when you're in that firm. And I think staying that course and understanding just the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, that projects, go well, they go bad. And no matter where you go, that's always going to happen. So are the people that you work with, the culture, is everything going on, something that you want to be a part of? And if it is, then awesome, right? That's fantastic. Because if it's something you want to be a part of, and the people that you're around, those are who you spend a lot of your day with. So I think, a lot of people end up jumping ship too soon. They don't stay the full course of what they're doing. And, that's a big part of everything that goes on, is just understanding that there are ups and downs to life. There are ebbs and flows, but to always, even in your downtimes, to keep getting better, to allow yourself to work on the projects you need to work on, to keep progressing in the ways that you need to whether it's improving your Revit standards or design standards or project management standards or whatever it might be, to continue to push that ball forward and continue to work on different types of projects to move forward. And for me, being in this kind of downtime, like, there's a lot of things that I've worked on and done. The other thing that I've done to just fill the time is I've read a lot more. I'm prevalent in reading anyway, but I've spent more time reading just in that downtime to maybe stimulate some ideas, some thoughts, some actions that I can take. And that has been a big part of this downtime as well. So I just want to remind you guys that, even if you're in a different season in life, if you're doing different types of things, than you're maybe used to or whatnot, that understand there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be these ebbs and flows, but you always want to be able to push forward. You always want to be able to move the needle in whatever way that you can, even if it's 1%, and those things don't always show up over time, but to allow all the things to take its course. And it can be frustrating. It can be a lot of things, right? But to bang on it and let those things come to fruition is a big part of it. So kind of a lesson that I'm going through, right, to not completely start from scratch every few years, or all those kinds of things, right? To really have a passion for something, yes, you want to chase that passion. You want to do something that you can enjoy, that you can make money with, but understand that these downtimes are going to happen. No matter what firm you work for, what company you're with, what projects you're on, it can just always take a while. So understand that, get through those moments, those tough times, those hard times, and just know that every rain cloud ends. The sun will come out. There will be brightness on the other side of it, and get through those times. But don't get worse. Don't let yourself progress down. Don't let yourself slip and fall through those tough times. Keep pushing, keep moving, and everything will work out at the end of the day. So I know maybe not the most upbeat and cool subject to talk about, guys, but at the end of the day, I think it's important that we understand these downtimes and understand that we can get through them. Understand that we are able to move forward even if we don't necessarily feel like it, even if there's not a lot going on, these little things will compound and they will matter in the long run. So again, look towards the future, the long run. The future is always bright. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this helped you. And until next time.